Unlocking Inner Peace, Patanjali's Guide to a Tranquil Mind. In a world where chaos seems to be the constant companion, it's easy to feel overwhelmed by life's challenges. Have you ever wondered how some people seem to maintain a serene mind amidst the storm? Today, I want to take you on a journey through Patanjali's Eightfold Path to discover his guide to unlocking inner peace. Let me tell you this, there's a tranquil path within us, waiting to be rediscovered. Are you ready to embark on this transformative quest? You might be wondering, what exactly is Patanjali's Eightfold Path? It's a comprehensive system of spiritual practices designed to help us align our minds with the divine. This ancient wisdom offers a practical way to cultivate tranquility, joy, and a sense of purpose. Here's something you should know: Patanjali lived over 2,000 years ago, yet his teachings resonate more powerfully than ever in today's fast-paced society. Imagine this: you're sitting in your office, surrounded by the hustle and bustle of deadlines and emails. Your mind feels cluttered and you're struggling to stay focused. You're not alone, but here's the good news: Patanjali has a solution for you. He suggests starting with the first limb of his path, moral disciplines. These are the foundations upon which all other practices are built. They include honesty, non-violence, truthfulness, and non-stealing. Here's a personal anecdote to illustrate why these are so crucial. A few years ago, I found myself constantly procrastinating at work, always putting off important tasks until the last minute. It was exhausting, and my relationship suffered because of it. One day, I decided to implement some of Patanjali's moral disciplines. I started being honest with myself about my habits and setting clear boundaries. It wasn't easy, but gradually, I noticed a shift in my behavior. By focusing on integrity, I began to trust myself more, and the anxiety around deadlines decreased significantly. Now, let's move on to the second limb: ethical conduct. This involves refraining from harming others physically, mentally, or verbally. Think about how this can translate into your daily life. For instance, if you find yourself criticizing someone harshly, perhaps it's time to pause and reflect. Could you be contributing to their stress or self-doubt? Practicing ethical conduct doesn't just mean avoiding harm. It's also about actively promoting kindness and compassion. Here's a real-life example that highlights the impact of ethical conduct. I once had a colleague who was going through a tough period at home. Instead of gossiping about her struggles, I chose to listen with empathy. I shared my own experiences when things got tough, and we talked openly about the importance of support networks. This small act of kindness not only helped my colleague, but also strengthened our professional relationship. Ethical conduct fosters a sense of community and mutual respect, making it easier to navigate life's complexities. Next up is the third limb: mental discipline. This includes controlling the mind, developing concentration, and maintaining equanimity. How do you apply this in your daily life? Imagine a situation where you're feeling anxious about a presentation you have coming up. Rather than letting your mind race with worst-case scenarios, try focusing on your breath. Inhale deeply, hold for a moment, and exhale slowly. This simple practice can help calm your nervous system and bring clarity to your thoughts. Remember, mental discipline is a skill that requires consistent effort, but the rewards are immeasurable. To make mental discipline more accessible, Patanjali suggests various techniques like meditation and yoga. These practices help quiet the mind and build a stronger connection between the body and the spirit. For instance, if you find yourself frequently losing focus during meetings, consider incorporating short meditation breaks into your schedule. Even a few minutes of deep breathing can make a significant difference. Here's a story that illustrates the power of mental discipline. During one of my most stressful periods, I decided to dedicate 20 minutes each morning to meditation. At first, it felt like a chore, but over time, I noticed a remarkable change in my ability to manage stress. When faced with challenging situations, I could return to my meditation practice and find a sense of calm. This newfound tranquility extended beyond my workday and into my personal life, allowing me to handle everyday challenges with greater ease. Moving on, we come to the fourth limb, study of the scriptures. This involves delving into the deeper meanings of spiritual texts, such as the Bhagavad Gita and the Upanishads. These texts offer profound insights into the nature of reality and the path to enlightenment. As you explore these teachings, you'll encounter concepts like karma, dharma, and moksha. Understanding these ideas can help you gain a broader perspective on life and guide you towards making conscious choices. For many of us, studying scriptures may seem daunting or disconnected from our daily lives. However, remember that Patanjali emphasizes that true knowledge comes from personal experience rather than mere intellectual understanding. So, instead of trying to memorize every verse, focus on integrating the teachings into your daily routine. For example, if you've learned about the concept of detachment, try applying it to your relationships. Learn to accept things as they are without getting attached to outcomes, and watch how this shifts your perspective. The fifth limb is observance. This involves cultivating self-discipline and adhering to the previously mentioned moral disciplines. Think of it as a commitment to living a virtuous life. For instance, if you've chosen to live a vegetarian lifestyle, observe this choice consistently. Over time, you'll develop a deeper connection with your food choices and the environment. Observance also extends to your interactions with others. By practicing nonviolence and truthfulness, you create a ripple effect of positive energy in the world. Here's a personal lesson I learned through observance. A few years back, I decided to adopt a vegan diet for health reasons. Initially, it was challenging, but as I continued to observe this discipline, I noticed several benefits. Not only did I feel better physically, but I also developed a greater appreciation for plant-based foods. Moreover, observing this choice became a source of pride and motivation for me to share this lifestyle with others. It's amazing how one small decision can lead to profound changes in your life. Now let's talk about the sixth limb, selfless service. This involves helping others without expecting anything in return. Think of it as a way to cultivate compassion and empathy. You don't need to go out of your way to perform grand acts of charity. Even small gestures can make a difference. For instance, if you see someone struggling to carry heavy bags, offer to help them. This simple act of kindness can brighten their day and remind you of the interconnectedness of all beings. One of my fondest memories of selfless service came during a volunteer trip to a rural village in India. We were tasked with building a playground for children who had no access to such facilities. It was a humbling experience, but I was particularly moved when a little girl ran up to me, hugged me tightly, and said, "Thank you for making my playground." That moment reminded me of the profound impact that even the smallest actions can have on someone else's life. The seventh limb is concentration, which builds on the previous limb of mental discipline. This involves developing the ability to focus your mind on a single point of interest for an extended period. Techniques like visualization and mantra repetition can be incredibly helpful. For example, if you're trying to learn a new language, visualize yourself speaking fluently and use a mantra to anchor your focus. Consistent practice will gradually enhance your concentration skills. As a language learner, I found concentration exercises particularly useful. I would set aside a specific time each day to practice a new vocabulary word or phrase. Over time, I noticed that my memory improved, and I could recall words more easily. Concentration is a muscle that needs regular exercise, and by incorporating these practices into my routine, I've become more efficient and effective in my studies. Lastly, the eighth limb is contemplation, which involves deep introspection and reflection. This is where Patanjali's teachings truly shine. By contemplating on the nature of existence, you can gain a deeper understanding of your place in the universe. This doesn't mean you need to sit in a cave and meditate for hours. It simply means taking time to reflect on your experiences and the lessons they impart. For instance, whenever I face a difficult challenge, I often stop and ask myself, what can I learn from this? This practice has helped me grow as a person and develop resilience. In my final reflection, I want to leave you with a powerful quote from Patanjali himself. When the mind is still, everything is still. This succinct statement encapsulates the essence of Patanjali's eightfold path. It reminds us that true inner peace is not achieved by external circumstances, but by cultivating a stable, centered mind. So, take a moment right now to close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. Feel the tension in your body begin to relax and allow your mind to settle. With consistent practice, you too can unlock the tranquility that lies within you. Remember, the journey to inner peace is not linear. It's a continuous process of learning and growth. Each step forward brings you closer to achieving your goals, and every setback is an opportunity to refine your approach. So, keep moving forward, one breath at a time, and embrace the transformative power of Patanjali's teachings.